about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Alright, YouTube, it is your boy Charles here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Babs, The Black Road South from Ahoy Comics, written by Garth Ennis. I just want to start this video off and let you know there's going to be a change to the channel, a slight change. I figure there are a lot of people in this space covering the major two companies, DC and Marvel. If you haven't noticed, I have stopped reviewing Marvel content a couple months back because I don't read it anymore. And like I said, with the congestion in the Marvel DC space, I want to focus more on independent companies. And so you're going to be seeing a lot more reviews of stuff from Image, from Dynamite, from Ahoy Comics. Stuff that you may not see on other channels, stuff that I really did. Because my number one rule on this channel is to only talk about what I love and what I'm passionate about. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on as far as in the comic book space for this foreseeable future. And if there's something that comes up from any of the big two that really speaks to me, I will be doing reviews on it. But this book, let me tell you, Babs, The Black Road South is hilarious. It is somehow a middle finger and a tribute to fantasy lore and storytelling. The last issue, it was a great introduction to the character of Babs, a crude kind of spoof of Red Sonja that is very self-aware and actually makes references to Red Sonja, often breaking the fourth wall in this book. And they continue that same type of humor. You start off with a flashback that is very, what's the word? It is a spoof on Lord of the Rings. And you see these two dwarfs or little people that are, kind of takes on Frodo and the sword, completing this mission and throwing the ring into the volcano. And then it takes a very hilarious and adult turn. And then in comes Babs on her dragon, and she just makes things more chaotic as she does. I'm not going to give away too many details because, I believe that when you give away that many spoilers, it takes away the true enjoyment of a book, which is getting your hands on it, reading it, and discovering it for yourself. But trust me, this book had me laughing out loud from the first to the last page. And so we get that introduction of Babs, and then we cut back to the future, and she is on another dragon, a dragon who is clearly past his crime, who clearly has some kind of CTE trauma that he actually references from his times battling, and he forgets things like forgets to flap his wings in order to fly. His teeth are broken, he's jagged. Looks a little bit like me, to be honest with you. But, he goes into, as they're flying, goes into his past and how, how he was a champion dragon and how all the spoils of that, the women and everything else, it became like a curse to him. And the more money he got, the more battles he won, the more women he acquired, the more he had to go out and battle, to the point to where he started losing and losing his edge and losing his money, and eventually lost the women and everything he owns. And now he is an old dragon with post-concussion syndrome who can't remember his name or remember to fly while he's in the middle of flying. Very funny character beat there on the way to, trying to find out what happened to this large sum of money that she ended up losing one drunken night in issue 1. There are other references to Red Sonja and other fantasy stories, and
it is just a very, very fun book. It's crude, it's fun, it mixes a lot of barbarian aesthetic, and if you are a fan of Red Sonja, Conan the Barbarian, you'll recognize a lot of the imagery, but at the same time, it's like, it has a lot of Mel Brooks style humor. We get a throwback to a character from the first series of Babs, who last time we saw him, he was a knight who, let's just say, he disgraced himself in a somewhat humorous way, and so he kind of went off on his own to try to reclaim his dignity after disgracing himself in order to save Babs and the rest of the crew. Not going to get into that, but trust me, if you can, get a hold of Babs Volume 1. You will not regret it if you're into Mel Brooks style humor. We meet another character who is an even clearer takeoff on Red Sonja. And Babs makes reference again to Red Sonja, kind of poking fun at some of the trouble that Garth Ennis had with the first series and how he had to change things because it was a little bit too close to the source material. So very, very funny stuff from Ahoy Comics. Garth Ennis, I've always enjoyed his work, be it The Boys, Jennifer Blood, but I didn't know that he could be so funny. I knew he did action great and gritty, crude stuff, and yeah, all of his stuff has dark humor, but this is just straight up funny. I suggest you check it out. Babs, the Black Road South from Ahoy Comics from issue number 2. I can't wait for issue number 3. I just read it and I want more already. And if you've read 1 and 2 and you want more, go back, read the first series, Babs from Ahoy Comics. You won't regret it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. If you like the content and you want to support the channel, you can do Buy Me a Coffee. I'll put a link down in the description below. But until then, I'll see you next time. Keep reading them books. You know I will. I'm out.